we have to press the government for reparations. Listen.
So I'm just learning about this new movement called ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. And from my understanding, this new ADOS movement is about reparations for us African Americans. It's about reparations for our ancestors who basically built this nation but never got paid accordingly. Now, some of our brothers, a lot of us, have an issue with calling ourselves American.
And for any organization that calls itself American but refuses to call itself African is an organization I cannot rock with. That's number one.
Because of the traumatic way our ancestors was brought over here and the things that our ancestors had to endure, a lot of us have an issue with calling ourselves American. You know, the interesting thing is, from my understanding, when slavery ended, like other African descendants, like say the Caribbean islands, they adjusted and they transitioned to their national name. So the African descendants, all the Caribbean, they no longer identified themselves as Negro and black, because from my understanding, in slavery, we was all Negroes, we was all blacks during slavery. But when slavery ended, the African descendants in Jamaica became known as Jamaicans. The African descendants in Dominican Republic became known as Dominicans. The African descendants in Haiti became known as Haitians. The African descendants in Trinidad became known as Trinidad. You know, so on and so forth. The Antiguans, they took on their national name. It seemed like all the other African descendants took on their national name after slavery. For whatever reason, us African Americans, we never really transitioned and became proud American. I guess maybe because, you know, we was going through the Jim Crow era and everything. We never really transitioned to be called American. So now in 2020, as many African American men, we have an issue with just calling ourselves American. Some of us do call ourselves American.
I'll be the first one to tell anybody, I'm not an African American. I'm an American. I was born on American soil. But I did go back to the motherland, and I love it.
But a lot of us have an issue with calling ourselves American. The thing about it is, it's factually correct. It's legally and factually correct. Because of the traumatic way our ancestors was brought to this country, you know, a lot of us don't like calling ourselves American. Through slavery, many of us been trained to call ourselves black. We've been trained to call ourselves the black man. You know, we want to say we Asiatic, we want to say we African, we want to say, you know, we Aboriginal, we Native, you know, all of these other terminologies. But by legal definition, at this point in time, according to the law that governs our communities, the law that governs our businesses, we are American citizens. We are classified as American citizens. And though a lot of us may not be American in heart and mind, we're not American, you know, our heart is somewhere else. Some of our brothers call themselves Israelites, whether we Muslim, Kemetic, Christian, atheist, scientists, whatever we want to call ourselves. According to the law that governs our community, according to the law that governs our businesses, we are American citizens. We have social security cards, we have driver's license, we have birth certificates. By legal definition, factual legal terminology, we are American citizens. So that's what I like about the organization, because, you know, in order to get any kind of legal reparations, it's going to have to be done legally and factually.
Down south.
Yeah. Let me ask you, the original Spades, like most of y'all families was from the South,
A lot
right?
of our family from the South.
From the South?
Yeah.
Oh, it was all of y'all,
Down
right?
in the South. Me and Monk is close by. And Marion, you know, we're close by. Me and Monk exactly from Wilmington.
Okay.
He used to ride the bus with my mother.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, back in the day.
So, I mean, like that, because that's how, like used to be. Like in New York, it was a lot of us from the South.
I'm from the South.
My family's from the South.
A lot of us came from the South.
From the South, right.
We came down. A lot of people from New York came from the South.
Right.
They didn't come from like Canada and shit like that.
Right.
They came from the South.
Right.
Either from Virginia on.
So being black meant like basically you from the South, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what being black
it
was, right?
That's what I was.
But now it's not like that. Now.
Sure.
You got a lot of blacks that's not from the South.
You got a lot of blacks that. Oh my God.
Right. Let me ask you a question. What do you think of an organization, for us that our forefathers?
I hope I see something like that.
Hold up. Our forefathers, we come from the South, right?
Right.
So what do you think of an organization just for us?
I would love to see that.
Right.
Because we don't have it.
We do got it. We do got it.
I don't know about it.
Right, yeah.
Because every other nationality got identity.
Right, exactly.
We don't.
Right. Okay, now, what if there's an organization just for us African Americans from the South,
right.
Our families from the South,
right.
just for us to get reparation, to get money, to get maybe some land.
Listen, man, I hope I be the president.
Right. And get some land. Maybe my thing is let's get some land and money. Our organization.
My family do got land.
Right? Mm-hmm. No, but they got to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
So it's really not theirs.
No.
But if you have land in America, you don't own land. Because if you have to pay taxes on your land, it's not yours. It's the government's.
Yeah.
Because I proved that to everybody, because if you don't pay it, they will sell your land that you've had for all these years with all that stuff for what they want to pay for just in taxes.
They could raise the taxes.
Let me explain something to you.
They could raise the taxes and then they can't pay it no more.
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Doesn't matter. Everybody pays taxes on land.
Not if it's ours. See, if it's
Nobody
ours.
owns it. Nobody owns their own
Okay,
land.
let me tell you.
So, but in Africa, I own the land. If I were able to get the government to agree to the land I have in Jamaica, I would own that land. That's a difference than being in America. We lease everything in America.
Right, because if you don't pay your property taxes, the government will just take the land back.
For the property tax.
And whatever's on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a hustle that they're not realizing. This land is not free.
Yep.
Other lands outside of this country are free.
Dominicans in Dominican Republic, they don't pay American taxes.
No, they pay Dominican taxes.
There you go. They own their own land.
Yeah.
We should own our own land.
Pay our taxes.
To us, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you say
reparations. Right.
Reparations.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, right? Now, organization for us, our ancestors from the South, right?
Right.
Now, what if there's more black people that say, no, we want to unite all black people, like we want to unite in Africa, we want to unite the blacks in South America, Central America, and America. We want to unite all of that.
Okay, what you saying? That's up to them.
They call that Pan-Africanism.
As far as the ADOS, the American Descendants of Slavery, I respect it. I do not support it, and I do not agree with it. I am a Pan-Africanist, and that movement violates three core principles of Pan-Africanism.
But now, see, this is the problem. See the organization for us, right?
Right.
From the South. The other group don't want to join it because they saying, why y'all separating yourself? They're saying, be for all blacks.
But we're not separating ourselves. We're trying to, what you saying, we're trying to organize to everybody.
Yeah, what I'm saying is steps.
Yeah, it's always steps
it's procedure.
Yeah.
So first, we unify.
We gotta unite.
Exactly. We gotta unite first.
Yeah.
Us and our people from the South,
Right.
we all unite. Then we can say, hey, we want to unite with Africa.
Okay.
We want to unite with
South America.
Right. We want to unite with West
Indian-
Indians. Right.
Indian. After the fact. Yeah, that's fine.
There you go.
That's fine.
They trying to do that first. They trying to unite all black people first.
Nah, it won't work that way.
Right. It's not gonna work
It won't work
that
that way.
Right.
Because our ancestors are from the South. They don't know anything about us.
They newcomers, right?
Right.
I mean, like, right.
Because they never been through the things that we've been through, but our parents
right.
and our ancestors have been
KKK,
through. Yeah, and all that
Jim
shit
Crow
like that.
laws,
Code
can't drink
and
off
all
the
that.
water
Right.
fountain and all that.
And all that, yeah.
Right.
See, you got to drink over here, you got to drink over there.
Boy, ride the back of the
I would have
bus.
been dead. I would have been dead.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
What you mean?
back then, I would have been dead. We got tired of that.
But most of the Spades, they families are from the South, though.
Yeah, a lot of our family. Listen, I would say 90% of the Spade people are family from the South. If they ain't from fucking North Carolina, South Carolina. If they ain't from there, they from Atlanta. I'm coming upstairs right now. You understand?
Yeah. A lot of our families was here in this country since it was 13 colonies. We was here before it was the United States of America. It was just the 13 colonies of Britain. And, you know, we was all along the East Coast, 13 colonies, and we migrated to different parts of the country. We migrated to Chicago. Our families migrated to Detroit. Our families migrated to California. Our families was all over the 13 colonies of this country. And yes, there was already native, indigenous people here, brown skin, woolly hair. You know, it's a very deep history. It's a very complex history. The point is, our families was here since the 13 colonies of this country, not just the South. So, you know, the ADOS, I'm just learning about the ADOS, and so far what I see, I like. I'm glad to see a movement that's basically for us African Americans. Finally, to me, is overdue. It's long overdue. ADOS unites us. You know, whether you're a gang member, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you're still ADOS. If you're a professional athlete, or if you're a Democrat, Republican, whether you live on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, or Southern states, you're still ADOS. Whether you're wealthy, poor, work on Wall Street, whether we a lawyer, doctor, whatever we say we are, a Christian, a Muslim, a Israelite Jew, you're still ADOS. And ADOS, from what I see so far, is just focused on politics and economics, and that's a great focus. That's a great focus, politics and economics. You know, my interest in ADOS is more towards getting some sovereign land of our own. You know, the financial, economic reparation, that's cool, you know, for those that's into that. You know, the financial reparation, that's cool. But my interest in ADOS is for African Americans to become a sovereign nation of our own.
African American sovereignty.
Even if it's just 100 African Americans have an opportunity to build our own independent sovereign nation. Reparation in the form of sovereign land.
We've got to get back to the land. That's one of the things that in our emancipation and liberation, we are going to have to get back to. Because in creating a relationship with land, you create a relationship with nature. When you create a relationship with nature, it is with the cosmos, and with the cosmos is with yourself. So there's a cycle that we have to get back into.
Reparation in the form of sovereign land, that's my interest. Now, as far as reparation in the form of sovereign independent land, a lot of other brown-skinned, woolly-haired people may not be able to relate to that. Because a lot of brown-skinned, woolly-haired people, yes, they was descendants of slavery, but they come from nations that's already independent. They come to America to get American money, and they may not be able to relate to us wanting to get free.
We are back in Brooklyn, where Guyanese culture and pride are in full display as they celebrate Guyanese Independence Day.
Are you Ados? Here's the thing. On my father's side, no. Okay? We trace back to Guyana.
Shout out, respect to all the Guyanese Americans raising their flag high.
A sea of red, yellow, and green as hundreds of proud, flag-waving Guyanese Americans came together to celebrate their country's 53rd anniversary.
It's always a pleasure to celebrate my birth country. I am a proud Guyanese, 100%.
Shout out and big respect to all the brown-skinned, woolly-haired immigrants in America. Truth is, a lot of other brown-skinned, woolly-haired immigrants who come here, their relationship with America is different. A lot of other brown-skinned, woolly-haired immigrants, they came to America by choice. They chose to be here, and they have a home, an independent home to return to. They're here basically to get American money and bring it back to their home. A lot of them want to bring it back to their home. They can convert the money and they can live better.
Are you Ados? Here's the thing. On my father's side, no. Okay? We trace back to Guyana. Ever since I was hearing about this whole Ados, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division. Yeah. Amongst black people.
And as far as, you know, I hear the little things, the little whispers in the air about, you know, like ADOS is dividing. It's not the ADOS is dividing anybody. This has been overdue. You know, African Americans uniting. In order for it to be a strong African diaspora, there have to be a strong ADOS. A chain is only strong as its weakest link. How am I supposed to unite with brown-skinned people from Zimbabwe and brown-skinned people from Guatemala when I'm not even united with the brothers of Detroit? I'm not even united with the brothers of Philadelphia. Right now, as it is, African Americans are not even united within ourselves. Our family structure is broken. So how are we supposed to join an African diaspora when African Americans are broken? We first have to repair ourselves as African Americans. Strong links make strong change. African Americans, we got to repair ourselves as a nation so that we can be on the equal playing field. Right now, what do we have to offer an African diaspora? Right now, we have nothing to offer to an African diaspora. So, like I say, African Americans, we get on the even playing field with the other African nations. Then we could talk about a united African diaspora. After a united African diaspora, then we could talk about a united world. You know, all nations come together, humanity. But thing is just steps. You know, you can't walk before you crawl. You can't run before you walk. You know, it's just natural steps of progression that have to happen first. African Americans, we got to repair ourselves as a nation so that we can be on the equal playing field. And then on another level, as far as the people who try to say ADOS is dividing, how can ADOS be dividing in a world that's already divided? I mean, people are already divided by their flags. How can ADOS be dividing in a world of division? This world is already divided. People love their flags. People are divided by their flags, and they raise their flags high, and they rep their flag, and their flag divides them from everybody else. If you really think about it, for so long, ADOS has never divided. That's part of our problem.
I have a dream.
We never divided ourselves. We never saw ourselves as a nation, so we never really divided ourselves. We always tried to embrace other nationalities, and really that's part of our problem.
Right. Every nationality think we animals. The way I see it, we're not prejudiced.
Right.
As far as I see it.
Right.
We're not prejudiced.
We accept everybody.
Right. And why we can't be accepted?
We so open-hearted, we try to embrace other nationalities. But people love their nationality. This is where we at in human history. In human history, we're at a point where people love their nationalities. They love their flags, and they're not going to drop their flag. Try to get an average Caribbean person to drop their flag, to forsake their flag. They love their flag. They love their nation. They love their people. So you can't try to blame ADOS for doing the same thing. It's about time that we raise our flag. It's about time that we create a flag. I say ADOS, we need to really create a flag. After we repair ourselves, then we can join the African diaspora. Then we can join the rest of humanity. Then we could, we could push for African unity, and we could push for world unity, world peace. Then maybe one day we can drop all of these flags and just raise one flag, the human flag. Maybe in the far future we can have one flag representing all of humanity.